Hello and welcome to your English news broadcast. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time, reporting to you live from our headquarters here in Asmara. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with the usual, your top and exclusive headlines for this broadcast. An announcement from the Ministry of Health. Workshop to develop strategic plan and tree seedling 2021 in good condition. On your international, Belarus and Russia continues military drills in North Ukraine. Nigeria's looted Benin bronze returns more than 100 years later. Welcome to your domestic in brief. On your health report, one patient who has been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the central region has recovered fully and has been discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 9,855. while the number of deaths stands at 103. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date stands at 9,687. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 20th February 2022. The National Olympic Committee of Eritrea organized a workshop to develop a 5-year strategic plan. At the workshop that is organized in cooperation with the experts from the Eritrean Institute of Organizational Excellence Research, research papers will be presented focusing on the concept of organizational capacity, identification of goals and planning priorities, effectual administrative resources, as well as the importance of activity evaluation and control. The 3-week workshop that commenced on 19th February is being attended by representatives of the Commission of Culture and Sports, National Sports Federation, as well as concerned bodies from the Ministry of Education and defense and sports experts, indicating that the objective of the workshop is to design activity plan that could be implemented ranging from Tokyo Olympics 2022 to Paris Olympics in the year 2024. Mr. Lul Fisahaye, president of the National Olympics Committee of Eritrea, called for reinforced participation in the effort to strengthen the National Sports Federation. The National Olympics Committee of Eritrea, that was established in the year 1996, comprises of 12 national sports federations. On your final domestic, Mr. Abraham Takhlu, head of the Forestry and Wildlife Authority branch in the central region, reported that out of over 1.1 million tree seedling planted in the region through various government institutions, associations, and students' summer work program, 80% are in good condition, indicating that about 33 types of tree seedlings have been prepared for plantation. Mr. Abraham said that 79% have eucalyptus trees, 88% indigenous trees, and 3% from others. Mr. Abraham also said that in the year 2021, commendable water and soil conservation activities have been conducted aimed at boosting agricultural production and as a result encouraging outcome. Commanding the strong participation, the government institutions, national associations, and students demonstrated the greening campaign. Mr. Abraham called for sustainable follow-up of the planted tree seedlings with a view to ensure their safety. Coming up with your reports on your international line after this short interval. Do stay tuned for more. Welcome back. On your international line, violence in eastern Ukraine has spiked in recent days. As reported, fighting has broken out periodically for years along the lines separating Ukraine forces from Russia-backed rebels, but the recent shelling and bombing spike could set off a full-scale war. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is willing to meet Vladimir Putin to find out, in quotation, what the Russian president wants and seek a peaceful statement, in quotation again, aimed growing concern over a possible imminent invasion. Later on Sunday, French President Emmanuel Macron is scheduled to have a call with Putin. In a call with French leader Macron, Putin has laid the blame on Kyiv for a military escalation in eastern Ukraine. Putin, in quotation, noted that the cause of the escalation is provocations carried out by the Ukrainian security forces, unquote, according to a Kremlin readout of the call, which added, however, that the two leaders, in quotation, believe it is important to intensify efforts to find solution through diplomatic means. Putin also repeated a call for the United States and NATO to take Russian demands for security guarantees seriously, in quotation. Zelensky has called for an immediate ceasefire in the eastern part of the country. He also said Ukraine supports peace talks within the trilateral contact group, where Ukraine participates along with Russia and the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. On your final report, to Benin, bronze have been returned to a traditional place in Nigeria more than a century after they were pledged by British troops, raising hopes that thousands more artifacts could finally be returned to their ancestral home. The artifacts, mostly in Europe, were stolen by explorers and colonizers from Benin Kingdom, now southwestern Nigeria, and are among Africa's most significant heritage objectives. They were created as early as 16th century, according to the British Museum, at a colorful ceremony in Benin City on Saturday to mark the return of a cockerel sculpture and head of an Oba king, placed spokesman Charles Ndosmon, who said on some of the bronzes had been taken as far away as New Zealand, the United States, and Japan. The two artifacts were handed over to the Nigerian High Commission in October by the University of Aberdeen and Cambridge University Jesus College, but that have been yet to return to their ancestral home. And Dozman said in an interview and a report on the sidelines of a ceremony attended by traditional leaders that they are not just art, but they are things that underline the significance of their spirituality. The return is another milestone in the years-long fight by African countries to recover looted works, as numerous European institutions are grappling with the cultural legacies of colonialism. Some 90% of Africa's cultural heritage is believed to be in Europe, France art historian estimated as a report. In the Museum du Croix Barley Jacques Chirac in Paris also holds about 70,000 African objects, and London's British Museum tens of thousands more. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news in brief. Until we are back with some more news, stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. But until then, these are your major headlines and top and exclusive headlines for this broadcast in review. An announcement from the Ministry of Health. Workshop to develop a strategic plan, tree seedlings planted in 2021 in good condition on your domestic. And on your international, Belarus, Russia continues military drills on north of Ukraine. Finally, Nigeria looted Benin's bronze returns more than 100 years later. That is all for now from us here back at the headquarters. That is all for now.